Surprise! मैम कौन है सत्या सरन द सेलिब्रेटेड ऑथर एंड आपका एंकर एक बार दिखाइए. Look at this! Oh my goodness! So beautiful.
Isn't it? Yeah, I love.
चलिए.
I feel like buying.
So we have good food here. This place. First we'll take. Come. Wow, look at the butterfly. Come, ma'am. So almost reaching Shillong with a living legend and celebrated university. I don't have to name. I just wanted to know, ma'am, when did you start writing? देखा मैम कैसे गाली देते हैं, प्यार का गाली है. But you have to share because at least some generations one will follow you. When did you start writing, ma'am? I know you since Femina days. I went to Miss India. I was selected for Miss India, but एक बार जाके I didn't go. I dropped that. Since then I know, and we met in Kumalit Fest, and after a long time, I'm so happy driving you from Shillong to Guwahati to Shillong. So this is the best day of my life with you, ma'am. To be honest, and I just wanted to know, as because you are such a good writer, and I one thing I remember, you have written "Keep smiling." I'm still smiling, keeping that promise. And I have written one statement from you, and women should be independent, right? I have read that somewhere. Okay, so now you tell, at least there will be so many girls and from our generation, next generation, watching, listening, learning.
Drive and do this together on a
No, I am driving very slow. I have enough of time
On
to
a road like
my
this,
focus and concentration is
we
so
would
good.
live to see the next generation.
That's why we'll leave something for the next generation. I'm a very good, sensible and sensitive driver. So seriously, ma'am,
But
when did you start writing?
well, I wrote a supposed novel. It was about 30 pages only
Wow.
in my maths class because I hated maths.
Math class में started writing story, and today you have written, I think 5-6 novels,
No
Novels?
novels. No novels.
and recent one is the biopic on Pandit Hari Prasad Chaurasia, right? Golden
Breath of
Breath of God, yes. अरे that's the uniqueness उसी में है, देखा ना. वैसे तो golden breath of gold. Wow. एक सांस is like golden hours, created golden hours. So how
उसको
many?
बंद कर अब.
नहीं, how many years it took for the biopic, man?
Not very long. Months, some months.
Okay. Means you are that knack for writing has made it so in short time, right? Did you meet Hari Prasad Chaurasia ji personally?
Of course, many times.
Many times.
How can you write otherwise?
Did he play flute for you?
Not for me, but he played.
He played, but that's for you, obviously. Huh? So, and I would love to buy directly from you, but it's all on Amazon, right? The book. ऐसे ना खुद author भी है, autograph भी है, photograph
तुम
भी
अभी
है.
ऑर्डर करो, हम लोग जाने के पहले आ जाएगा.
Yeah, आ जाएगा.
तो फिर मैं साइन कर दूँ.
Yeah, yes. And what you will just flip through the pages and share that plot and that story which is not there in the book. ठीक है? So we are reaching Shillong now. देखो नया गेट खो. Idol project की हो डैम ना? Wow. Hi Shillong, we are coming with the legend Satya Saran man.
Oh wow, look at that.
And पीछे में आंटी बैठा. Forgetting the auntie. Good only. You don't want to be exposed.
Invisible.
चलो.
On the road as their business will almost come to a standstill for 3 years. At what cost do we want this? So that the car owners or the usually more well off can
Meditation. Is there something you want me to write? But I got one request that I want to know how to write about everyday things to make them interesting. I will definitely deal with that. I got one more saying, how do you write for, how do you make a story into a screenplay? I will touch on that. But I also want to talk about reviewing. Is that of interest to you? How to review a film or understand a film, and the literary and the visual content of a movie, or how to understand the literary content of a book, and understand what is it that the writer is trying to say. Is that of interest to you?
Yeah.
Yes. Okay. So that is it. Are you interested in how to conduct an interview?
Yes.
If you are not, no worries. But if you are, then I will take that. I'm just trying to know what works for you so that I can conduct it. Are you interested in how many of you would be interested in how to conduct and write an interview? Suppose there is a celebrity here and you need to interview the person. How do you, what are the questions, how to ask questions? Because I find very often when I go and listen to someone doing an interview, they say, okay, what do you do, madam? And when somebody comes asking such questions, the person who's getting it gets irritated.
Yes.
So if you want this, we can talk about this also. I have a proper PowerPoint presentation which will talk about it. So we take it. Okay? Maybe a bit boring, but it is very helpful. So what is it that makes something readable and good enough for publication? Not depending on the language. It could be in Swahili for all you care. But what is it that makes something that you're writing readable? What is it? What do you think it is? Anything?
The flow,
The story.
the flow,
The story, the content.
The
yes,
content.
The content, the flow, yes. How does it go? Right? What else?
There should be a grip.
It should grip the reader, yes.
Relatable.
Relatable. Most important is relatable. Now, if I talk about something that you know nothing about, I talk about how to make rasam. Now, I don't know how many of you have ever made rasam or what it is. You don't even know what it is for all you do, right? How do I make that interesting? I make it interesting by making it relatable. Saying rasam is like a soup, or it is like one of your local dishes which you have either with rice or as an aperitif, right? And then I start talking about how to make it. You may not be interested in cooking, but a good food writer will make you want to read what he has written or she has written because of the way it is cooked, right? So content is important, relatability is important, flow is important. And of course, like any piece of writing which we all learned in school, writing must have a beginning, a middle,
And
so which do you think is the most important of these two? The beginning, the middle, or the end?
the beginning.
Then,
yeah, I mean, it has to connect to the readers from the first line itself.
okay.
At least for me, I mean, if I wouldn't pick up a book if it didn't connect to me in the first paragraph.
Okay. Anybody else has anything about the beginning?
The beginning should be interesting. It should pull you, the reader, towards the book. That one.
Whether it is a story, an article, or a book, or even a movie. How do movies start now?
Exactly.
How do serials start? They start with something dhadam. So do all beginnings have to be dhadam? Yes. Why? What can you do? What can you do with the beginning? You can interest the reader. You can surprise the reader.
Suspense.
You can make the reader think. But you have to keep the reader in your grasp. Okay, so the beginning is very important. What about the ending? Ending is also important. Why?
You should get the satisfaction of.
You
having
should
read the book.
feel, it's like you've eaten a great meal
Yeah.
and then they give you a bad dessert. What happens? You forget the meal. You say, मुंह में अजीब सा taste रह गया. Right? So the ending must make you feel satisfied.
Sweet dish.
It must make you feel you have learned
Evoked.
something maybe or enjoyed something. Everything doesn't have to teach you a lesson. right? It could be just a piece of reading that is so beautifully written that you say, "Arey, itna acha laga." The words were so beautiful. The way it was put together was so beautiful, right?
You
Or-
travel along.
or it would make you think.
Yeah.
Exactly like the beginning makes you curious, the ending could leave a question unanswered to make you think, oh, okay, now the big controversy that is happening just now is about that boxing that is happening, right? So if you're writing an article about that and you leave it saying, how do we know who is right? What does the reader take from it? A question. The reader ponders over what you have said and ponders over whether the boxing federation is right, the Olympic federation is right, or have they broken the rule? There is another controversy about the gentleman who has served a term for rape, who is now in the Olympics. So again, the same question, should somebody who has been accused of rape and who is serving a term, is in the middle of serving a term, can he go home saying, "I won a medal," and become a hero? So what are you saying here? Are you saying it's fine, as long as you can do something wonderful for your country, you can go around raping? Are you saying this? So these are questions that you can leave the reader. So we've got the beginning and the middle and the ending. What about the middle? What is the role of the middle?
Is a bridge.
Yes, it should be interesting. The first paragraph, you can start wonderfully. It happens very often. You start a movie and it starts with this fantastic thing happening in the beginning, and then you say, "Arey, 10 minute mein aur kuch dekhte hain," right? It's boring, and you turn after the first episode, you say, "This serial is not for me." So it has to continue. The middle is the actual masala, the meat. So you have to, in the middle, do what? What does the middle do? What do you think the middle does?
It should be very interesting. Otherwise,
Interesting, yes, but what is the role
You
of
know,
The climax is in the middle.
string together. It should be
go
strung
one
together.
from
Yeah,
another to
yeah,
another
strung
to
together.
expound
Yes, yes.
Bound.
expound the story
Yeah,
that you are telling,
yeah.
or
Like
tell the
stringing.
story that you are telling, and continue. So if I ask you, if you had to write about, I'm going to ask you all to do a little bit of writing so I get to understand where I must position my talk. I don't want to tell you things you already know. Okay? So if I ask you to write about a very common incident, like what? Give me something. Give me a subject. Give me a subject. Anything.
Flat.
What?
Flat.
No, flower is not an incident.
Incident.
It's,
Rendu
sorry?
Mandal from Bengal, Mrs. Speaker of
Everybody may not know that story. So do you want to, okay, we'll go there later. I will, of view of the little businesses. Now how you approach this of one paragraph. I want one paragraph of a little business, of all the little businesses, or one little business, or whatever, or a view from the flyover, whatever. You take your angle, your position, and write about this problem of flyover coming and all the businesses on the side, all the traffics that are being inconvenienced. You write me one paragraph, just one paragraph, from any angle you want. Am I clear? Let's see what it intrigued me a lot. And I kept looking at it and saying, "Oh, and there was only one. So I bought it, and it fitted me, so I bought it. I kept looking at it, and I wrote a story about it. Now, can you look at an object and write a story? It's exactly like looking at the picture and writing a story. You will describe the object, maybe. and
You
writes
can
to you.
feel that ancient aura.
Whatever, either it talks to you or it doesn't talk to you. If it talks to you,